welcome to Sips with the Surreal. I'm Jenna.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dina.
And we're just three best friends who like to get together and talk books. We would love for you to follow along with us each week, just like a book club. We'll tell you the week before what book we will be discussing so you can make sure you've read it. If you check out our Insta, Dina likes to make art, so we will post our art interpretations for each book. Maybe one day me and Danielle will get back onto that horse and ride
Back
into
in
the sunset.
saddle again.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to pester you all for him.
I've just fallen into a major slump, and then I went back to an old painting that I did for Kingdom of Ash, like for myself, months, probably in like the summertime, and then that's just been haunting me, and it's staring at it. I just stare at it every day. I'm like, why don't I like you?
There's something wrong.
There's something missing, and it's the trees.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what are we discussing today, Dina?
Today, we're finally discussing part 2 of Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, which is the second book in the Fourth Wing series. So as always, if you haven't read it yet, please pause, go read, because just like the cereal, we're spilling the tea. And speaking of tea, what are we sipping on today?
We are sipping on Lightning's Kiss again because Dina and Danny didn't get to try it last week, and Jenna drank a lot of it. So it's your turn.
So actually,
what do you think of it?
I made it, I want to say like a few days later. It is fantastic.
Right?
Really like that one.
It's a good one.
Thanks, Sip Master Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm a tequila fan.
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
You really do like tequila.
You know what? I've been on a tequila train.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Trip.
Tequila
Yeah.
trip?
Trip.
I don't know. Tequila. What's that called? Whatever.
Kick.
That's
Kick.
it. That's what it's called.
There's three of us.
Tequila Kick.
It didn't click for a minute.
We'll get it.
Mom brains.
Yeah.
For real.
We got there.
End
We
of the
got
night,
there.
Mom brain.
But anyway, Sip Master Bob. There's his photo right here. I'll put it right here when I edit the YouTube video.
So we need to tell him we need another tequila drink for our next episode.
Yeah, let's just keep going with tequila for
Right?
the series.
I'm cool.
If we're doing Onyx Storm next, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Tell him, we need, give him like the premise of what Onyx Storm is all about, and then tell him to use his imagination.
What?
I swear to God, if he tells me a margarita with a wine float again, I'm going to scream.
What is wrong with him?
Why does he like that
He
one
likes
so
that
bad?
one. He likes it. It's actually really good.
You know,
but like he keeps
But we've done
saying
it.
I haven't had
We've done it,
Originality,
though.
man. Maybe you'll get some inspo while you're in Vegas.
Originality. Oh,
That's what I was telling him.
yeah.
I need to take a picture of all the cocktail menus so that one that sparks our interest, or a few for the future episodes. I mean, that's inspiration right there. That's why I'm going for inspiration for the pod.
It's actually a tax write-off.
Yes.
There you go.
I like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know me, sacrificing myself for work here.
Absolutely.
You go to bar and you take pictures of their drink menus.
Note
and we
take.
use it
Yeah.
for the podcast.
And then I have
Done.
to, do the research. So I'll have to test at least, I don't know, 2
10. Oh.
minimum.
Because one, it could trick you.
I said 10.
10. Well, throughout the day, sure.
Yes.
Space
Over the
them
course
out.
of the trip.
Yeah.
10.
Water in between
Yes.
Maybe a banana.
and a nap.
Put
Definitely a
on
nap.
that hangover patch, and you're good
Yes.
to go.
Bing, bang, boom.
Absolutely.
There you go. You're ready to rock, baby.
I am.
And in between all of that, make it really big in the craps table. The
Do you play
slots.
craps?
So no, but I've been learning how to play bubble craps,
I don't
which
know
is
what
basically
that is.
craps, but instead of with an actual dealer, it's like one that pops for you, and it's like on the computer.
Like trouble.
Oh,
It's really cool.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, like you kind of see, and then you just see the big, like they're huge dice, and they just pop in a bubble.
Whoa.
Oh, I want to do that.
Whoa.
I know. I'm gonna try it.
am-
We're having like a strategy party last week.
Oh, that's
So-
cute.
I
Wonder
am
if they have that
putting-
in AC or something.
Oh.
Not that we go to AC.
I mean, they're pretty
ever, but-
popular. It's pretty popular, so I wouldn't see why
They
not.
probably
Okay.
do, Danny. They probably do. I am putting in a formal request and using this as evidence that me and Danny do want FaceTime and text messages.
100%.
Like,
Oh,
I want to feel like I'm
absolutely.
there. I want to feel like I'm there.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, Danny, kick it off with a summary, por favor.
Okay, so we left off with Xaden addressing all the riders to consider joining the revolution, and a massive riot flies with them to Orisha. Yay! And obviously some people stay behind, but that's okay. All right, so Violet wakes up fully mended because she has been tortured by Varish. Fuck that guy. And Xaden and Violet get it on because she's healed, so why not?
Yeah.
Duh.
She finally
do it.
caved.
And I mean, the way they describe the bedroom in Orisha sounds, nice and
Yeah.
soundproof. So let's do it.
Well,
when in Rome.
he uses his like shadows to like sound insulate, but also yes, it sounded like he had a very nice bedroom that like had like a veranda overlooking the mountains, and who
Exactly.
wouldn't?
Picturesque.
Super romantic.
Who wouldn't want a bone there?
Well, who wouldn't want to bone him? But yes, I'll take him anywhere with a shitty backdrop or anything. All right, and Darna finally wakes up from her dreamless sleep. But then Taryn tells Violet in private that Andarna has not developed as normal because of how much energy she expended at Ressen and the times that she was forced to fly and the interruptions of her dreamless sleep. Kind of her fault, too, because she kept waking up and saying, "What? Hello, do you need me?" I mean, she's
but
super
didn't
cute,
it
though.
like hurt her little like dragon wingy? She has like
Yes,
a
let me
Nemo
talk.
wing.
A Nemo, she does have a Nemo wing.
Nemo
So a set of muscles that normally would permit her to fly haven't properly developed, and it's unlikely that she'll ever be able to bear a rider. But of course, that won't stop her. She is determined, and she trains with the elders, which is super cute. That they're like have her back, and all these elder dragons are like, like doing PT, dragon PT.
Oh, cute. I love that.
Right? So then a riot of 40 dragons approaches, led by Mira. Xaden sent for them, and Mira found out the truth because Xaden dropped dead wyverns all over their outposts and other outposts. Good job.
I love that.
But then, obviously, she doesn't know Brennan's alive, and once she gets there, she sees him, and what does she do? She goes in for a hug there, but she punches him. She's like, "You motherfucker." But anyway, Violet has interpreted some of Warwick's journal, and she thinks it requires blood magic. I was super excited for this part. I was like, yes, she's got it. This is awesome. And she attempts to raise the wards using 6 most powerful riders: Xaden, Felix, Suri, Bodhi, Violet, and Brennan. Each must drop blood into the ward stone, and they do so, but nothing happens.
I don't remember who Felix and Suri are.
I had to look them up, and Suri kind of sounded familiar, but I think they were supposed to be like the most powerful, but you don't really hear much of them from what I remember.
Most powerful, like we didn't hear about them a lot.
You don't hear, I'm not finished Onyx Storm yet, but they're not in Onyx Storm much in the beginning, right?
Or at all.
There's so many characters though, so
but Felix is big in Iron Flame.
Yes, Felix, that's why. That's what it is. Felix comes out later on more. He's the one that helps Violet, no? Train her wielder lightning. Isn't that him?
Oh,
or am I thinking of somebody else?
Wait.
Is Felix the one who gives her the conduit?
The conduit?
Maybe.
Wait, we wrote it here. It's in
I'm sure it's in the notes here.
It's in the notes. Who gives her? Yes, oh yeah, he does. Yes, he does help her train with the conduit.
The conduit. Duh.
Yeah. Okay. It was Felix, not Suri. Suri's the one that.
Yeah.
We got there.
It's there.
Yeah. Come on, brains.
It's literally our next line right there. Violet starts training with Felix so she can control her aim, and he offers her an orb etched with runes to use as a conduit until she gets better. And then I put here, I was like, wasn't he questioning why she was like, I said so poorly trained, but honestly, she was like kind of shitty at being a lightning wielder. But it was because they weren't training her properly. They were just trying to get her to like strike as many times as possible and not like hone in on aim because she couldn't aim.
That's right.
That one guy was like doing it to the point of where she was almost burning out
Bear.
all the time. Yeah, Bear. Oh god, that guy sucked.
I
hate that guy.
Yeah, so she had like no aim, and that's like her whole thing in Iron Flame. She cannot aim, and honestly, it would have gone a lot better for them if she could. All right. So then, since she feels like she's failed trying to raise the ward, she's determined to meet Takaris and get them the luminary instead. So she convinces Mira to go with her, and Brennan also joins. And they get to Corden, and find Xaden already there, and he's unhappy. He warns Violet of the danger she's in, but she gets angry because, remember, she's like all sassy pants with him. Oh, I can't trust you, whatever, about wanting to keep her safe, and says that he's becoming like Dane. Ouch. Not nice to compare him to Dane.
Below the belt.
I see what she means, but also like, okay, he's not
very
Dane.
different.
He's not Dane.
Yeah.
No.
Let's not get ahead
Dane
of
was like
ourselves
treating
here.
her like a fragile little baby bird.
Yes.
And yeah, anyway, Xaden like loves her.
And his life is tied to her, so
well, that too.
stay alive here.
Right. So they all have dinner together, and Takaris asks Violet to demonstrate her wielding abilities to him. So she is brought to a gaming arena, and a large metal chest is pushed into the middle of the field. I was like, what the fuck? And this is when she's like looking all around at the field, and she's like, what is this ground? Why is the ground made like this? I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what the hell. Why is she talking about the ground? I'd be more worried about like what they're about to do. But then we realize later. So then this chest, it's a Ribestad chest, is the same one Xaden's father had brought to Takaris when they were in negotiations for an item in the past. Takaris makes Violet an offer. As long as Xaden doesn't step foot into the arena and Violet strikes the chest with her lightning, they will open discussion for the luminary. Which this guy, Takaris,
we know she can't aim here.
Exactly.
Girlfriend cannot aim.
So then a venom is hidden inside the chest, and the guards release the venom, and the venom attacks. So this, like, immediately my blood started like boiling. I was like, oh my goodness, what's happening? Violet is unable to strike the venom with her lightning, but she is able to strike him with a dagger. The venom throws the chest at her with some daggers, which pin her to the ground. She's able to escape, but then the venom slams his fist to the ground, which spreads death across the battlefield rapidly. And then this is where you're just like, holy shit, okay, this is how scary venom are.
Yeah.
And then Mira is able to block this by throwing up a shield over Violet. Yay, sis. And her and Brennan, but it drains her. So thank you, though, for the save there. And then Brennan takes Mira away, and Taryn arrives at the arena and picks Violet up with his talon. That was a cool scene. And she sends a lightning strike over the wet grounds, which electrocutes the venom. Well, that was good, too, right?
That's why she was focused on the ground.
Yes, because like the ground was made of that type of stone. It was all stone. It was like a stone arena. I forgot what type of stone she said it was, but it was like less earth because like the venom pulls from the earth, right? It wasn't like more ground. So,
right.
All right. So then Xaden uses his shadows to strangle Takaris, but stops before he's dead. He agrees to negotiate, and they will supply Takaris with weapons as well as to take roughly 100 Griffin Flyer cadets to Orisha to train with them in exchange for the luminary. Because the Griffins can't fly at the same altitude as the dragons, they have to hike a narrow path towards Orisha. And each rider is paired with a flyer, and Violet is paired with Marin, Cat's best friend, Cat Rutrow.
What an interesting concept, though. I mean, like, I don't know how much of this is true, like Griffin myth and dragon myth, like the altitudes a dragon would be able to fly versus a griffin. Like, that's pretty specific for Rebecca to like throw in there and turn it into the part of the story.
No.
That's a really good point, Dina. I kind of want to Google that right now.
Like, I mean, I don't know. All I know is of the books we read. I don't read really real mythological stuff.
Exactly, because like, I mean, these writers must have done some serious research on like dragons, griffins, wyvern, all this stuff to figure out like, you know,
like the logistics of it. And stuff.
I guess it would be based on like the animal, you know, that's how they figure it out.
I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't fly at the same altitudes, but I kind of find that interesting that
because they're a lot smaller.
Yeah. But they sound cute.
As you
they do. Less intimidating as a dragon.
I think I'd rather, well, I mean, having a dragon is the ultimate badass, but the fact that you can die as opposed to a griffin.
No bueno.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more appealing.
Right. All right, so Martin and Mitch.
Hold on, just to cut into that. In another book series, it says that griffins don't have a difficulty time flying at high altitude, but rather relies on diving to gain high speed from the altitude.
But what's canon?
Oh, what's canon? Look at you. Okay. Oh no, but then this one says, but that's from the Aperian wiki. It's from Fourth Wing, and it says they don't tolerate altitude well because they can't handle the thinner air. I mean, but
this says they have a lion's body, an eagle's head, wings, and talons.
So if it was half eagle, you would think it'd be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how high can eagles fly?
That sounds like a song.
It did sound like a song.
How high can an eagle fly? I want to Google that.
Oh my God.
Official song obsessed with the cereal.
Oh my God. It was listening to me. All I typed in on Google was how high, and it filled in, can an eagle fly?
Oh my God.
10,000 feet.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how high is a dragon flying?
Ooh, Google.
How high can a dragon fly?
Not a dragonfly.
Oh, yeah. Got to distinguish.
What is it?
This is 700 to 1,000 feet. So this is all fucked
No,
up.
That's not real.
No.
Why would an eagle fly way higher?
Google do better because they're
Do better,
actually
Google.
real, but yeah.
That's probably true.
The things we debate about.
This is 3,700 meters, about 12,000 feet.
I was going to say, I can't do meters.
Yeah,
no.
So that's still not as much.
That's
as
higher
what
than an eagle. Eagle said 10, and this is 12.
By 2,000, though.
2,000's a lot. Jenna.
True.
15. Mine says 1,500, and an eagle was 10,000. Danielle, eagles do more.
No, I'm looking up dragons, and mine says 12,000 feet.
Oh, 12,000. I thought you said 1,200. Okay.
No, you know listen, Linda.
All right. I know, listen. Sorry. All right, continue.
Okay.
Tangents.
All right, so Marin admits she was happy that Kat and Xaden broke up. Yay! And Sloane enters the conversation saying that Liam didn't like Kat himself.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because Kat's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Sloane tells Violet that she doesn't hate her, and she is now reading through Liam's October letters, which is good. That's like a little breakthrough for them. Like, I don't hate you. Liam liked you.
Like, yay!
Right. It wasn't her fault.
Mm-mm.
If anything, she should be more mad at Xaden than Violet for making him be her
that's true.
protector.
Yeah,
But-
he's the one that like ordered him to
Right.
watch her.
Yeah. Anyway, Marin tells her to become flyers. Tells her to become flyers. They jump off a cliff onto a passing griffin to bond with them. But if they miss, they just land in the water and swim to shore. And then they join another branch of service instead of the alternate with the flyers, the riders, where they have to, do the parapet and the gauntlet and then die if they don't make it across.
And hope that the dragon likes you and
they
doesn't
don't
burn you to death.
Yeah, like when they were all listening to the story, they were like, wait, so you don't die? And they're like, why are you killing your people? And they're like, yeah, why are we killing our people?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what bothered me about Iron Flame a lot, because it was like a lot of realization from like other people that they're doing things so backwards. Like Basquiat is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right, so Taryn alerts Violet that the first Orishan-born hatchling was born on their new hatching grounds. Yay, baby dragons.
Could you imagine how cute?
How big is a baby dragon?
Oh,
now we're getting to
Google,
sizes
Google
again.
I don't know, like a lion?
I was going to say, is
I
it
bet
at least the
that
size
big,
of a person, like a full-grown person?
Ew.
What?
I'm just picturing that. How big is a baby dragon?
Google's going to be like, what is going on?
I know. They're like,
Jenna
what
has
is she-
lost her mind. She's living in an alternate reality.
Well, we need to nowadays.
Oh, okay. Bearded dragon. Nope.
Nope.
The same.
Oh, not that.
Near the end,
Keep going.
arrows start flying because they set off a trap. They have to clear a gap about 5 to 6 feet to be safe from this trap. Violet gets the idea to shove a sword into the rock ledge and use it to buoy themselves to clear the danger zone. Luella, one of the flyers, misses her mark and lands in Violet's arms. The group starts sliding down the ledge, and a rider, Vicia, grabs onto Violet as well. Vicia starts to fall, and Luella's griffin plucks her out of the air and puts her on the ledge. Luella also falls out of Violet's grasp, but her griffin isn't available to save her, and Luella dies. And her griffin will now too.
Oh, that was so
really,
I
sad.
hated that. When they
which is so
Uh-huh.
sad. But then Kat flips out. How dare you?
blames her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
blamed
one of
her
my
for
flyers die. You would never
Okay.
let a rider die.
Quick
Meanwhile,
timeout.
go ahead.
Sorry. It says mythical dragons, baby dragons or hatchlings, perhaps the size of a large dog or a small human.
Oh gosh.
Oh, really? That's small. So Jenna, you're a small human. So
I'm
the
a
size of
small
you.
human. And what are
So-
we thinking a large dog is? Like a Saint Bernard?
Great. I was gonna say Great
Great
Dane.
Dane. Great Dane.
Yeah.
There you
Also
go.
comparable to Jenna.
A Great Dane is comparable to Jenna.
I am a little bit minuscule.
A little bit.
I am a baby dragon. I like that. I'm small and fierce.
Yes,
You
you're in
really
Darna.
are. You got like a Terran stare.
I could do it. I could do it. All right,
All
sorry,
right,
Dina. You
Riddick.
had a hold on. Dina had like a little
Oh, go
realization.
ahead, Dina.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
even had my gesture. I was just going to say, and Violet over here with her arm out of her shoulder sockets, trying to hold on to these both girls.
Right,
The tiniest
right.
girl trying to hold on to both of these. Oh, I met my calorie mark by doing that gesture. Okay.
Yay, good job.
See, we also exercise on this podcast. But yeah, and then Kat has the audacity to be like, "You let her fall." Like, bitch, my arm was coming out of its socket. Like,
Right.
what else
I
you
can
want me
only
to
do so much with this fucked up body.
Yeah, yeah, that was my cat
Violet.
rant.
Poor Violet. She can't win with Kat though, so
Mm-mm.
it is what it is.
Cats suck.
Yeah.
All right, Riddick has been pierced by arrows from the trap. Ouch. And then Brennan mends Riddick. Thank goodness for Brennan. And suddenly a wyvern appears. It's cloudy, so the dragons can't see. Violet calls for every wind wielder to clear the clouds, and Violet mounts Taryn and heads for the wyverns. Violet uses her powers to kill the wyvern. Yay, Violet.
What a good,
actually-
smart thing to think of, right?
Right, because she has a storm, but she's clearing the clouds so she could see, and then finally is able to use her powers properly, effectively.
She's getting
Yeah.
there. She's getting there.
Yeah, right. She's baby steps. I mean, she's like a first year still.
Mhm.
That's true. I still can't believe that she's only a first year. Are we
Right.
sure? Is she
No, she's a
year now?
second. She's
Yeah,
second because
year
Oh,
now.
Sloan-
right, because
Sloan's
Sloan is a
group, yeah.
first year. Yep,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
second.
Yeah.
All right, Taryn says the birth of the hatchling would have alerted any creatures capable of channeling in a 4-hour radius. So the hatchling grounds are the perfect spot for the venom to drain. Brennan shares that the venom share collective consciousness with the wyvern they create. So if one of them knows that this place is there, they will all know, which
So how
that
did
really
Brennan
freaks me
know
out.
this?
I know exactly.
No,
Hmm.
I guess he
Okay.
has his own research he's been doing about venom.
I'm sure.
Does he know?
has. I'm sure
Uh-oh.
he has.
Are you guys hinting at things that I need to know?
No, we
for
still
honest?
don't. We still
Oh.
don't.
It's
know. Anyway.
complete.
It's our own.
theories. It's our little
Damn it.
suspicions.
You know how many people were talking to me while I was reading today? I'm so mad. I even put headphones on to pretend I was doing stuff, listening, and I was like, "Don't talk to me." I have double power here, and people
Double
still talk to me.
power.
But anyway,
Don't
all
worry, I
right,
have
back to
lots of
Narisha.
reels.
They start learning about runes, which are super cool. I want runes. Runes are strands of magic pulled from their power, woven into geometric patterns for specific uses, then placed into an object, either for immediate work or usage at a later date. This process is called tempering. A wielder can temper a rune using as much or as little power as they choose, and then place it into something like wood or metal. The rune can then activate when triggered or perform whatever action it was tempered for. Unlike alloys, which house raw power, runes have a specific action. Then they start practicing making their own. Violet figures out that Xaden put an unlocking rune on her dagger, which is how she got out of the interrogation room back at Best Guy, which was fucking awesome
Mhm.
to learn that. And she asks him about the rune stone he keeps at his bedside. He says that it's a protection rune, but it was only intended to be used once. This particular rune was designed to counter the signet of the rider whose dragon would kill them, and it could only be activated when the rider was going to be killed by dragon fire. So that saved all of the what's it called?
The
rebellion.
Ones? The
like the
rebellion
kids
kids
of the rebellion.
The kids of the rebellion, all the ones with the relics. Yeah, which was like sad because it's like his daddy saved him.
I thought, was it his dad that gave him the stones?
It was Liam's mom, no?
Liam's mom.
Yeah. Oh.
She made the rune, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Because she what is Liam's mom's power? Didn't she have a power to like warding power or something?
She had something oh shoot, I don't remember now. But yeah, she had something special about her. Yeah. Her powers. Maybe it was a warding one.
I think
the mother of Liam's son, Colonel Mari. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see what her power is. Her signet.
Liam's mom's power in
Mari signet.
Let's see.
It doesn't say she has a signet, but
Liam's mom was a rider who, along with other rebels, created runes to protect their children from Melgren's signet, which his dragon would use to execute them.
It doesn't say where her signet is.
Yeah, it doesn't say what her signet was.
That's okay.
I thought I read it somewhere. She had something, but maybe it's not in this book.
Powers, abilities. Let's see.
Or I made it up. Who knows?
She was skilled in making complicated runes. She was the last person alive that knew how to make special protection runes, which were bound to a family's bloodline and only activated when the eligible person was killed or died by dragonfire. So I guess she's like a rune specialist.
Oh, okay.
A rune specialist.
She's a subject matter expert.
Yeah, because it says signet unknown. So, okay. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, your turn, Weister.
Oh, sorry. I was Googling. All right. So for the next 6 hours, any flyer or rider can challenge whoever they want on the mats. But then all these hostilities between the riders and flyers will be put to rest. Yeah, right. Tomorrow, flyers will be absorbed into the squads of riders, so they will form teams. So obviously, Kat's a bitch, so she challenges Violet. Xaden trained Kat, so the two are well matched. So I remember this, like seeing like when Violet starts fighting Kat, she's like, "Oh my God, we're doing the same moves because we were both trained by Xaden." So Kat starts saying hateful things to Violet as they start to fight. Finally, Kat tries to use mind work on Violet, and Xaden comes and stops the whole match. Is this when she says the thing about the fingers?
No, that was at Takars's house when like they went into their own rooms. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
And she was like getting her dressed, and then she was just like, "Oh, you know that thing he likes to do with his fingers? I taught him that."
Yeah.
But this is when Violet says, she like does a clap back, and she says, "Oh, you know that trick? Thanks for that."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Xaden brings Violet to the throne room.
Pause. Pause.
For a moment of silence. For the epic throne scene.
Dude.
Where he just starts taking off her boots and he's on his knees. She's sitting on a throne. You can't,
You just please pause and read it right now.
Go listen.
Reread but then he says, my
chair,
woman, my chair, my throne, my right? Oh shit.
My woman, my chair, my throne. It's like,
my chair.
Shoot, we should have wrote it on there.
I think it's my chair, my throne, my woman. Yeah. It's my chair, my throne, my woman. So hot. Could he be hotter? Nope. So afterwards, he tells her that he never loved Kat. They were betrothed when they were 20 as part of an alliance his father negotiated to use the luminary there instead of giving it to them. So then they talk about Violet controlling her insecurities because Kat can obviously manipulate that and it only amplifies it. So Violet needs to find her center if she wants to control her emotions and powers. So the next day, Violet learns that they've been combined with Kat's drift, which no fun.
Of course.
So Violet continues working on translating Warwick's journal. Violet asks for Dane's help translating, but tensions are still high between them. He does apologize to her, admitting that he screwed up and trusted his dad when he should have trusted her judgment instead. So he's redeeming himself. It's very nice. He acknowledges that this will still not do anything to bring Liam back. I think he even says, like, I will live with that guilt that Liam died because of the choices. It wasn't because of Dane directly, but it was a choice Dane made that kind of made like a domino effect happen, I feel like.
And he says it again in Onyx too.
He does.
So he really does feel bad.
No, yeah. Well,
It's
Dane's a
genuine.
terrible guy.
Deep down, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah.
He means well in what he's doing. He's just a little blind to certain things.
Misguided.
Yeah. He had his priorities really all wrong. And he was like really trying to win his dad's favor. So what are you going to do? So Violet learns that Venom and Wyvern have taken Pavis, and this location indicates that they will be coming after Arisha soon. So later, Dane and Violet are working on translating the journals when she realizes they may have been mistranslating the word blood and that it should have been breath instead. And that would explain why it didn't work when they combined all their blood on the ward stone. So this leads her to the realization of how they can raise the wards, but she is unsure if they should. In order to raise the wards, the Flyers will no longer be able to channel, which
See, look at her being nice.
Not be.
I know. Considerate.
She wants to give the Flyers the choice as to whether they want to stay in Arisha without the ability to channel or shelter in Cordon instead, where they can channel but be more exposed to Venom. Violet explains to Xaden that the 6 most powerful beings referred to in Warwick's journal were dragons, not riders. Which makes sense because it's
right. Because who the fuck cares about riders?
Yeah, they're just humans.
Yeah.
After a few days later, Rhiannon sets up a training in a cave for their dragons to practice detecting runes. Sloane talks about Violet potentially getting a second signet because she has 2 dragons, saying that second signets only happen when a dragon bonds a rider in direct familial line as its previous. Learning this, Violet realized that Xaden must have a second signet that he's never told her about.
I was like, oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So as she's realizing this, Solus, Varish's dragon, appears.
This
and you're
guy
like,
again.
what the fuck? Like out of nowhere. So at this moment, Andarna shows up, wraps herself around them to protect them from the dragon fire. Solus already has one eye missing from the previous fight with Taryn. So Violet takes out the other eye with her dagger and then tells Kat to get out of the cave. And I think that was like a moment for Kat when Kat was like, oh, Violet's not a selfish person. She really like...
Yeah. And like she's... Yeah. If she wants anyone to not have a power, it should be Kat, who keeps getting into her mind. And yet she's saying like, no, let's not do that to them. Then they can't wield.
Yeah. So Violet takes a broken shard of conduit and stabs it into Solus and wields her power. Violet is flung back and Kat and Sloane drag her out of the cave. Andarna continues to fight Solus until he is dead.
Fuck those orange dragons.
Yeah, Andarna is awesome. Sloane realizes she drained Violet's power as she pulled her out. So Sloane manifested her power and she's a siphon.
When this was going on, I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, I didn't even realize that was a signet at that time.
I think like the cave scene was so chaotic because it was just like one thing after another another. Like
it was super intense.
Xaden has a second signet. Why is Solus there? Oh my God.
Kat helping Violet. You're just
Kat
like,
helping Violet. And Darna showing up and saving the day. You know, like it was a lot of things.
Right, because didn't she come in through like a different entrance?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Andarna. Always saving the day, that girl. Love her.
The best. I love her.
So Later, Xaden is angry with Violet for saving Kat, but she claims that she saved her because she's in the line of succession for Boromir throne. He's frustrated with Violet because he wants to respect her freedom, but also keep her safe. They start arguing again about trust. She asks him about his second signet. She knows he has one because Seagal was bonded to his grandfather. When a direct descendant bonds the same dragon, the rider will either gain a second signet or succumb to madness. And clearly, he is not insane. So,
no, he's mad sexy, but
before he can answer, Brennan pounds on the door, announcing that the wyvern have been spotted. Violet worries about the wardstone. She can feel the energy from it, and she knows she, Dane, and Xaden have put a lot of time into imbuing it, so it at least holds some power. Violet tells Brennan that the stone needs to be activated by a dragon of each den. So, like, right, the orange,
all the
blue,
colors.
Yeah, all the colors.
Yeah, and their dragon fire triggers the embedded runes. So they gather one dragon from each den, and all 6 dragons exhale their fire together to activate the stone, but the stone doesn't change, leaving them to wonder what they're missing again. Violet is mad that Xaden never answered her question before about a second signet. He tells her that she will immediately, this was so sad, fall out of love once she finds out. He's like, how long do you think so sad. How long do you think it takes for someone to fall out of love?
I'm going to cry thinking about this. I'm so sad.
Got the chills.
I'm getting that tingly feeling.
Right? Yeah. And then she figures out that he's an intrinsic, so he can read intentions, which in Fourth Wing, every time like he walked into a room and she's like, and I felt a tingle on my scalp, and I turn around and Xaden's looking at me, or like I felt his presence. And in my head, I was like, can he read her thoughts? In Fourth Wing, I thought that.
You thought that?
And because every time like she's like, I felt a tingle. And I'm like, oh, is he reading her thoughts?
But it's
and,
not thoughts.
But it kind of is, because
he can read intentions, not thoughts.
But listen. Then there were so many times that like they were like having sex or like.
Well,
something.
she even says that in here. She goes, "I didn't think I said that out loud."
Exactly.
Says,
Exactly. She goes, I didn't. He would like answer her from what she said in her head, and she's like, "Oh, I was having an orgasm. I didn't realize I said that out loud." You know, like. So yeah, it's weird. Okay. Anyway,
I thought it was because they were connected, like because
the bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, can people be mates too? Like is it a mate thing? And that's what I was thinking at that point. Not necessarily. I do. Everybody should
Humans
have
can have mates.
Yes. I mean, there's other series where I guess she's not
we
really human.
really wouldn't even call them humans, because they're like, they have powers. It's like they're humans, but like
they're not really human.
They're
right?
not. They're not totally human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, not if you can channel a dragon's power.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So she starts questioning everything. She's wondering how many times he's read her intentions, if he only said things that she wanted to hear, and he can read her what she's feeling. He's like, I would never do that. And she's like, there you go again. Like,
And he's like, less than a minute. It took less than a minute. I was just like, no, sad. She still loves you.
So sad. Okay, so while this big revelation happens, wyverns start attacking. So wyvern cross the wardstone barrier, and several go limp and fall to their deaths. But later, Serena shows Violet that she can still wield lesser magic. So something is still wrong with the wards they raised. Violet and the others meet with Melgren and General Sorengale at... Oh, this is a stupid name I have trouble with.
F-Bean.
They are offered refreshments, but Taryn warns that they are probably poisonous. Melgren says that Venom are going to attack Samara and they are going to win. And I was like, oh, it's totally that like drink that like makes them not be able to like have
connect
their power
with their dragons.
Yeah, exactly. So Melgren asks that they fight with them since he believes it would change the outcome of the battle. And in exchange, Melgren offers to respect their independence. Brennan steps forward, and the shock is visible on Brennan's mother's face when she sees that he's alive, which was kind of like a really sad moment. She's like, oh my God, like you guys all knew that he was alive and he's been here and everything, and like just sad.
Right. He's been alive for years and refused to tell his mom.
Right. Like she
and his
wants
dad died because he died.
I know.
I still don't know if I believe that.
I partly thought that that the mom knew he was alive, but no.
I also don't think that
the dad really died like that.
I don't think he died of a broken heart. I think that's something else.
Yeah.
Well, he had a lot of secrets.
Mm-hmm.
If he's even dead.
Exactly. If he's even dead.
Who knows?
Oh, I'm not there.
No, I don't. I'm not saying anything.
Again,
I'm just saying. No,
listen,
I'm just. It's
There
all
could be
speculation.
hints at it.
Onyx
Maybe.
Storm
No.
only gave us like 10,000 more questions and no answers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Brennan declines their offer of peace. So General Sorengale speaks to Violet and Mira privately. She tells them that most of all, she wants her children to live, and that she tells them that the ward they put up yesterday will fail. She needs to cut open the bodies of the wyverns that fell yesterday. Lyra felt the power of the wards should be shared. Like this is Lyra from the journals. But Warwick, so the two journals are saying different things, but Warwick disagreed and wanted Navarre to be supreme. So the instructions in his journal are a lie, and those wards will decline over time. So she gives her Lyra's journal.
Right, because obviously Warwick's going to be one-sided and not give like the full truth about the wards.
Yep, exactly. Okay, Dina, you're up.
Okay,
girl.
I'm gonna try to get through the next part without crying because I gave myself
You
probably
gave
the
yourself
worst
the most
part.
emotional part.
I know, and I'm like, dang it. Okay. So back at Arisha,
Maybe take
they
a sip
cut
of your
open
drink.
I know. I'm gonna have to. So they cut open the wyverns and they find runes. The stones hum, and the wyvern nearby begin to reanimate before Violet kills them again with lightning. So she has been pleading with Brennan to reconsider Melgren's offer. The Venin are organized at Zola. Zolia. Gosh, it's been a while since I've heard these names. Likely to prepare for Samara battle that Melgren foresaw. The estimate is that Samara will be attacked with over 500 wyvern. Can you imagine? That's insane.
Scary.
Way more wyvern than dragons, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Violet realizes during the battle brief that Samara was just a distraction, and the wyvern and Venin are waiting for all of the wards to fall before attacking. She believes that they're not going to attack Samara, but Beskayeth during winter solstice. So it's kind of like a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And Melgren can't see it because there are too many rebellion relics at Beskayeth, right? So Violet tells Xaden that they're going to have to fight. So the assembly, which is like Brennan's crew and all of them, decided not to go to Beskayeth, so they'll have to go on their own. And when they reach there, her mother insists that the wards are fine, but still she agrees to go with Violet to go inspect the wards. So they go down and they, sorry.
Hold on, I need to take a break.
I said oi.
I'm going to take a break. I'm getting upset.
Oh gosh. Okay, sip.
Okay.
Sip some lightning's kiss. I'm trying not to process here. I'm just reading.
Yeah, sorry. I'm making it worse. Go ahead.
So they go down and they find that the guards are dead. They find Bade, Jack freaking Barlow's dragon, near the
Like,
wardstone.
what the fuck
What is
are
he
you
doing here? Yeah. Taryn demands that he leaves, but he swipes at General Sorengale. Jack is there and intends on destroying the ward. Bade collects the wardstone, but then Jack stabs Bade in the neck. What the fuck? That's his dragon.
His own
What is
dragon.
wrong with him?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
He then extinguished the flames on the wardstone. Violet kicks a dagger at Jack, and Jack fumbles the wardstone, and it comes crashing down and it cracks. So all the wards of Beskayeth have now fallen. Wonderful. Fantastic.
I wish that like he would have died when he stabbed his dragon.
Well,
Right.
I know, but
You
go
would
ahead.
have thought,
Mhm.
right? So that's where I
find
think
out why he did.
Violet starts questioning. So Jack should be dead because his dragon's dead, but actually he's Venin since before he challenged Violet the previous year. That is insane.
Yep.
Like how long he's been Venin? That means he had to have turned right after he bonded a dragon?
See,
Yes.
I always had assumed that he had done it when
He
she,
fell
like,
and
he
she
fell
they killed him.
Yeah, I always
That's what I thought.
imagined that he was like
Because that's why he was being
dying
mended
on the side
Yeah.
of the cliff, and
That the healer was constantly checking on him, make sure he could mend a venin.
Right. unless that's when they just figured out that he was Venom, and that's why Nolan started working on him.
Yeah, but can't Nolan give like Violet some secrets on like how he? Oh, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Really
Never mind. We didn't get to the end of this.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Jack claims he's also shown other Venom the way into Basgiath. Fantastic, Jack. And has been planting weapons inside the college. Even more fantastic. Dane tries to see his memories, but Jack begins to drain Dane. Xaden knocks Xaden knocks Jack unconscious before he can do any more damage, and they relay the information from Jack to the others during battle briefs. So basically, they need to be on full alert because there's Venom running around. You don't even know who a Venom could be, and there's secret weapons placed in all different areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Nolan acknowledges that he spent months trying to mend Jack's soul, but didn't work, Nolan.
Nope.
Later, Violet and Xaden are tempted to run away together, but are interrupted by pounding at the door. Many of the riders and flyers that originally declined to fight show up, and they knew that everyone was needed, so that's where they showed up. Brennan shows up saying that the flyers are going to hunt for the weapons Jack planted, and Violet asks Brennan if he can mend the broken wardstone. I think he was like, I don't know, but I'll try.
Yeah.
It seems kind of weird. Like, it's an object. I don't know if he's ever really mended an object. So I thought that was kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
General Sorrengail summons a storm to enhance Violet's powers, which I thought was very nice. Motherly. Considerate.
Yes. She has to do something nice for him.
Yeah. It just feels like there's so much going on. It's like that last 100 pages where it's like this whirlstorm of like emotion and craziness and action. And you're just like, what's happening?
Right. Like she didn't help her during the parapet and get rid of the storm then, but she'll get rid of the storm. Like she'll help with the storm now. Now that they're
she's like, oh, this is real. Yeah. This is real. Mm-hmm. Okay. Violet manages to take out some of the wyvern, but as the fighting continues, she starts feeling heat rise that she's almost near a burnout. Rhiannon saves her from a venom, but is nearly killed. Sawyer's leg is bitten off.
Oh,
horrible.
Sawyer.
Horrible. She separates from Taryn. Violet separates from Taryn to grab Sawyer to save him, but Taryn managed to catch her as she falls, and she drops Sawyer off so they can start taking him to the healers. I felt
the way she
terrible
did this,
for Sawyer.
Oh, I know. But the way she did this was super awesome. Like she's running off of Taryn to get to Sawyer, who was like falling off his dragon. I forget what his dragon's name is. And then Taryn's like, do not dismount. And she's like, I got to grab him. I can't let him die like Liam died. And this was just like, she was really kicking ass here.
What's funny too is like when they were training for like the takeoffs and all, like she couldn't do half of these maneuvers, but then in battle, like she becomes a different person and she's like doing like all these crazy things. Yeah. It makes you think like, okay, maybe you just need to have the confidence to do something. Yeah. And the willpower and like,
I think it's willpower for her. Like seeing everything in action really pushes her to the max.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So go Violet. Meanwhile, Brennan did mend the stone, but restoring the ward doesn't seem very hopeful. Violet continues to fight, and the venom reveals that they are under orders to capture her so that Sage can use her as a weapon. And Andarna, woohoo! She comes out of hiding to attack because, of course, they told her to go hide, right? They don't want her in any part of this, or Andarna. But she comes in, burns the Dark Wielder, and rips its head off.
Yay!
She's so crazy.
I love her.
Then Justinia shows up.
Was this where she was blending in? She was like camouflaging?
I believe so. Yeah. Yes. Like, oh, interesting. Foreshadowing? I don't know. Easter egg.
Easter egg,
yeah, definitely an Easter egg.
So Justinia shows up, yay, to save the day, and she tells Violet that the difference that is that Lyra's journal says that it requires 7 dragons, not 6.
Dun, dun, dun.
The quote is, the breath of life of the 7 combined and the set stone ablaze by an iron flame. Dun, dun, the name of the book.
I love it when you hear the name of the book.
Yes. Even when they do that like in movies or TV shows, I'm like,
yes. It's so satisfying.
It is.
Not in Onyx Storm, though.
Oh.
No. Oh.
Well, okay, not in that one, but
whatever.
This one, it was good. Okay.
You're right.
But
Sorry to be a Debbie Downer.
7 dragons. What were y'all thinking at this point?
I couldn't even like process it. I was like, wait a second. I mean, I knew Darna was special, but I was like,
yeah.
Whoa,
I was like, oh
what
my
does
God,
this even
what
mean?
is she? I was like, what is Darna?
Because she's black.
Because they kept saying that, like, oh, she's black, but she looks a little purple today.
I was like, oh,
purpley black. Oh, she's black, but she looks a little this today, golden still. I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so then Melgren wants to move everyone to the Vale to distract the hoarder, but Violet wants to try to raise the wards again now that she has that secret, right? So Violet convinces her mother to go down to the wardstone to help her imbue it. And Xaden says that he's going to buy Violet some time. Never split up.
No, should have stayed with her.
We've learned this from scary movies. You don't split up.
Yes.
So Violet talks to Andarna, and Andarna says that she waited 650 years to hatch.
What?
All the way until Violet's 18th summer.
I'm getting chills.
I mean,
right?
I remember reading that and being like, what the fuck does that mean? She purposely waited for Violet?
Yeah, she felt her presence in the world and was like, okay, I'm ready.
Like, and I just kept thinking, like, why? What is both of their significance? Why is Andarna so special that she waited for someone, and why is Violet so special that Andarna waited for her? So the two of them,
exactly.
You know? Yeah.
So since Violet would have the mind of a scribe and the heart of a writer, she knew that she would be hers. Oh,
I got chills.
She's so beautiful.
Right? It gives that whole touch her, she's mine or you die. Like that's like the whole like she's hers. Like, oh, so sweet. Okay, so then she reveals she's also not a black dragon or any of the other 6 dens they know of. She's a 7th breed. So she is the key.
The key.
Violet continues imbuing the wardstone, giving it all the power she can, willing to drain herself of the power and die. Violet's mother shows up, kicks her away from the stone, and then puts Sloane's hand on the stone, allowing Sloane to siphon her own powers into it. I was like, what is going on here? This is crazy. Like, okay. As soon as her mother's power lives within the stone, she instructs Violet to fire it, which will raise the wards. Oh my God, I'm getting choked up here. Only because I know what's happening. Brennan and Violet try to stop their mother from doing this, but it's too late. She gave all of her power to the wardstone and dies because of it. This was so sad. Like,
at least she had some of them there.
Yeah.
Like Brennan.
She, to me, was not very likable. I was not a fan of hers.
No,
I understood some of it, but in the end,
you know, when they do that little like excerpt from the journal of
Lilith.
Right before this, they were like Lilith's Sorengale's like message to her husband at the time. It was like, many soldiers think the greatest, like, and I'm paraphrasing, is to like die in battle for your nation, but we know the truth that the greatest thing we could do is die for our children. Like,
and that's what she kept saying, like at the end to her kids. She's like, I just want my kids to live.
Cross the parapet then, you know, like she could have died then. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, what she said to like Violet, she was like, I knew you could do it. So I wasn't going to like help you because I knew you could.
Did she have to be such a jerk about it the whole time though?
She's a colonel. I don't know.
All right.
Like, anyway. I don't know. As much as I trust my kid to do it, do I really trust my kid to do it?
Absolutely not. I would be like waiting in the wings and like send my dragon, like, all right, go pick her up as soon as she falls.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you protect like your child from the other riders who like can just like kill you at any time because they want your dragon.
Exactly.
Yeah, like when they all like jumped into her room in Fourth Wing to try and kill her.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Where was she then? Okay, well, she kind of redeemed herself here. I mean, I cried. I felt terrible. I was sad that she went, but I'm happy that she did it because...
she's literally the flame of the wards.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So Andarna, our 7th breed dragon, lights up the wardstone and it blazes with iron fire once again, and the wards have been raised. Oh,
here we go though.
Yeah. Wyvern bodies start falling all around the battlefield. Violet makes her way to Terran and Sigale to find Xaden standing over the body of a venom he has killed. He says that she should be scared of him, and Violet notices a small ring of red in his eyes. Was this when you threw the book, Jenna? Because I think this is probably when I threw the book.
Yeah. She's like, what's wrong? Like because he was like all broody and moping like on the side of a cliff. And she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, you should be scared. And she goes, of what? And he turns
said,
around and he's like,
me.
of me. And she's
This is when I called Jenna. I said, and then did you record that conversation?
I voice recorded that. Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't. No. I was like, I was walking around the house aimlessly. I was like, why? Why? How do you cure venom? What are you doing?
What's crazy is like, for significant events, you always remember where you were. I remember where I was when I read this.
Me too.
Oh man,
is that crazy?
Right?
It was so impactful. And then like just like,
ugh. And I had to go back and reread what I was reading because I'm like, no, I'm misunderstanding something here.
Well, thank God she gave us Xaden's point of view, because now we know like how he did it. But
so then the last part, Xaden's point of view, which I
didn't even read it right away. I was so distraught. I was like,
right, because you're like trying to process what you just read. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from his point of view, the sage told him that he must turn to their side if he wants to save Violet. If he fails to do so, the sage would kill Violet. Xaden holds the venom in the air through magic and feels the deep power consuming him. So he's kind of on the brink of edge here. Sigil roars out against this, saying that she chose him. Okay. But Xaden says that Violet chose him too. And he jolts up in bed, realizing he was having a nightmare and Violet is sleeping next to him. He walks down to the holding cell where Jack is waiting for him. Xaden asks him what the cure is for his condition, to which Jack responds that cures are for diseases and what they have is power. Xaden says that he'll never become one of them, but Jack says that he's already one of them and welcomes him to their messed up family.
I wish he could just put it back, like channel it back into the earth. Like, here you go.
Right?
I'm so sorry.
Right? Like, we still don't know what the cure is.
I feel it's like it's not that he didn't trust Violet, but he could feel her dying. That's what he said in that point of view chapter, right? He said, I could feel her dying when she was like with the wards and everything. So that's why he did it. He did it.
He was prompted because he felt that, and he's like, okay, then the sage isn't lying, right? Like, it's going to happen. I need to do this in order to save her.
Exactly. Like, he wasn't doing it for like selfish reasons to have power and to be like this all encompassing human. He did it to save the love of his life,
Right. He already has a lot of fucking power.
He did it for the right reasons. So hopefully that's a saving grace.
Yeah, right. Like your true intentions instead of stealing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that part too, like where Sigil's like, I chose you. Like, oh my God, she did. She chose him.
I know. Poor Seagal.
I know.
I don't like this.
I know. So the next segment we usually do is Between the Pages, which is a deep dive or discussion. Is there anything that we want to go back and talk about, or
just
maybe
how
deep
I was
dive?
really devastated for a really long time after that book ended.
Absolutely. That was like a reading slump after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. I was just devastated for Xaden, honestly. And I was worried that she was going to like not like trust him, want to be with him anymore.
Well, she had
Right.
worked through all those trust issues the whole friggin' book, and then you're just like, oh, they were getting to a good spot, and then bam, this happens again.
Yeah.
Because wait, did they talk about being in Tinzik again before he ended up becoming Venom to have like another
I don't really think they got to talk about
hash
it much.
it out?
It was
again?
just that one time.
Yeah,
I want to
think that was
say.
it.
So like he became Venom, thinking like she was really mad and not in love with him. No, that can't be true.
I don't know.
No, I think they must have talked one more time, and like before they, like I don't know.
Like they didn't. I mean, they were interrupted during that time,
Right, about
and
the
then like all
wyvern.
the stuff went down.
Yeah.
But they were still at Arisha when that happened, and then they went to Beth's Guide. So maybe right before the.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Because
So
they
maybe
had to
they
go to
did
the
talk one more
assembly
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them. So yeah, there was a little bit of mending.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she kind of drove me like nuts in this book where
big time.
I just this back and forth, wishy-wash, trust issues. Like I wasn't a fan of her.
No.
She was not my favorite.
I will say I liked her again in Onyx Storm though.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind her in
redeems
Onyx
herself.
right now.
Yeah.
Redeems herself big time. I kind of want to at times be like, why aren't you seeing what I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Look at what's right in front of your face, please. Like,
In Onyx, you're
Open your
thinking that? Or
in
eyes.
Onyx, yeah.
Oh, all right. Shh.
Yeah.
Well, I was being pretty.
How far are you in
general.
Onyx?
Yeah, where are you?
Halfway.
Okay.
All right. So I did a listener engagement poll because I was thinking about it and I was like, why are all in all of these like books, whether it's like fantasy or dark romance or contemporary romance, why are all these men like dark haired? Like it's always like the raven haired male and the blonde haired female. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Well,
Like,
why are you upset because you like blondes?
I mean, I do like blondes, but like all the blondes seem to be bad. Like think of Tamlin.
Tam. Mm-hmm.
Think of Tam.
What color hair does Dane have?
Jack Barlow.
Blonde.
Dane has
Does
like
he
I
have
think
blonde?
I think he has like a dirty like brownish blonde.
Yeah,
but Jack
he does.
Barlow's blonde. You know.
Liam is nice and he's blonde.
Oh, that's
true.
Thank God for Liam. So I put up a poll and I said, why do you think all the MMCs lately are dark haired? And I said, is it the tall, dark, and handsome trope? Is this a new trend? And I was trying to like be like a play on like blondes have more fun. And it was like, do raven haired males have more fun? So I'll just put it up here for a second. If you can see.
Oh, yeah.
So it said 78% said that it is the tall, dark, and handsome trope. And then it's a nice split 11% for a new trend. And raven hair males have more fun. So
I think it's more mysterious and it's supposed to be sexy. I don't know. I like dark hair.
I like dark hair too. Very sexy.
Broody, morally gray.
You know, lighter colors means pure.
Right.
Okay.
Which is why I went blonde.
You're so pure.
Pure of heart. Pure of heart. Okay, so we do have a Spill the Tea, our book rating. So let's just go over our goblet rating and then we'll say what we gave Iron Flame. So if you haven't checked it out yet, we posted on our Instagram our sipping scale and what each goblet rating means. So a 5 goblet rating would be Nectar of the Gods, 4 goblet is Enchanted Elixir, 3 goblet is watered wine, which is really funny. 2 goblet is a bitter brew, and 1 goblet is the poisoned chalice. So for our sipping scale, we gave this book what'd you guys give it?
I gave Fourth Wing a 5. I gave this one a 4 because I'm mad he's Venom.
Yeah.
And because Violet was whiny.
I gave it because Violet was so whiny. Yeah.
Enchanted Elixir it is.
Enchanted.
Still enjoyed it.
Yes, of course.
It
in
really
the worst possible way.
Right.
Yeah. I really have to be like blown back to have a 5 goblet rating. I really need to be like, can't put this down, was so happy or
like
so
Mist and Fury.
sad. Like Mist and Fury. Like it has to like really like wow the hell out of me. I'm like, I never had a book do this to me before, you know, like that kind of thing.
I am very picky with my 5s, but I feel like I'm very generous with my 4s because I'm not very
Yes.
hard to please.
Yes. Yes.
So
And I think
just
a
enjoy
3
reading.
just sometimes seems mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like, it's not that
honestly,
bad.
if it's a 2 or a 1, I probably
Oh.
didn't finish the book anyway to get even to that rating.
Yeah.
Which I've been DNFing a lot of books lately. I'll tell you, I'm right and left DNFing. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I've DNF'd today.
There was only one that I
recording.
DNF'd.
Oh, okay. We'll have to.
Yeah. And I'm very generous. I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep going.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay. Dina, our favorite segment?
Yes, on the nightstand. So where we just briefly discuss our TBR or what's on our nightstand, what we're currently reading. What are y'all reading right now?
I have a problem. I'm reading too many things, but I have like different modes of reading, right?
Yeah.
So in the car, I'm like a couple chapters away from Heat of the Everflame, almost there. It's getting so freaking good.
Yes.
The end.
Can I say a spoiler? Or no? Because we're gonna do are we gonna get to Heat? We're gonna do all those books.
No.
Well, we talked about Heat when Penfold a little bit. We didn't talk about it. All right. Well,
you can say
Deanna meets her dad, and like, what a fucking mess that is. Her sired. Yes.
Isn't that fucked up?
That whole mess of power is like freaking me out. And all her crowns, very interesting. But Empire Storms.
Wait. To stay on Heat real quick, Danielle. I bought, because I'm cuckoo, the re-release since she's gone traditional of Heat. So I have the bonus chapter.
Oh, gimme.
So when you're done, I'll give it to you. But you have to read it in my house so I can have it right back because it's
you can't take it back.
It's precious.
I'm gonna have to buy it because I have the other two, so I want my collection.
So beautiful.
It's so gorgeous. I have the other two. They're beautiful. Most beautiful books.
Yeah,
I know.
I have the regular version of it, and I'm gonna buy like this beautiful edition just because
it's gorgeous.
I have to have it.
It's gorgeous.
Have to have it.
Even the red pops more in this third book.
When you showed us, it looked beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, sorry. And you're also on Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas.
And then Onyx, and then that's it.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you, Danielle.
Thank you. I said I was going to do a Fate Inked and Blood, but I was like, let me get Heat out first and then get another book on my phone.
You're just hip hopping all over the place. Look at you.
Everywhere.
Love it.
All right, next.
So I finished A King of Wrath by Anna Huang. And I listened to that because Audible narrator Joseph Morgan that I love.
He's like your Audible boyfriend.
He's my Audible boyfriend. He was in it and it was just fantastic. And now Dina's listening to it. So that was great. I finished that. So now I'm listening to Guild by Raven Kennedy again on Audible because A, was having a sale, and B, Anthony Palmini, who does Rasanne's voice, was doing it. And just so you know, Raven Kennedy reposted the thing, and Anthony Palmini liked it. So hey, shout out Anthony Palmini and Raven Kennedy. Guild, so good. And shout out to our friend Megan. She read the whole series and she said it's one of her favorite series of all time.
It's just called
Guild. And then the second book is like Glint, and then it's like Gold and Goldfinch or whatever. It's like all like gold.
The Plated Prisoner?
Plated Prisoner series, yeah.
Thank you.
And then I'm reading 4 books, guys. Then I'm reading A Fate Inked in Blood by
Is it good?
Daniel
I didn't start it yet. I feel bad.
Yes. And then I'm also on my Kindle reading An Awfully Big Adventure by Shauna Woodland, which is not fantasy. It's just, like a contemporary book. And it's very lovely.
We gotta throw those in sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
When you need a little fantasy break, it's nice to pop that baby in.
Absolutely.
That's what King of Wrath was. King of Wrath is just normal human beings. So.
It was it's a nice
humans.
Yeah, no, but it's a nice like fresh breath of air.
Yes.
There's still
he's
spicy
I like the cover. It looks pretty.
He's still morally gray. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Oh, that's okay. I like Morley
too.
Cray.
And Dina, what are you doing?
Oh my God. So my February was totally stacked.
Mm-hmm.
I read the Heartless Hunter series, which it's a duology. So it ended with Rebel Witch. Fantastic. Those are my 5 stars. Love that series
Wow.
so much. I would love to get her on here to talk all things
Cross
Rune
manifested,
Winters.
baby.
Oh my gosh, we're going to reach out to her again because she's amazing. I also I read Metal Slinger. Fantastic read.
Oh, okay.
I did Butcher and Blackbird. Also awesome. I listened to that one. That one's a good listen.
Okay.
And I'm on King of Wrath. But I'm going to finish probably tomorrow. I need to check our page to see what people have voted more for.
I just looked. It's Phantasma right now that's in the lead.
That's been high on my TBR for a while.
I almost started reading that, and then I was like, oh, I have to like read all these books for the podcast.
I have to read all the other ones. And that really sassy book talk person you posted, Jenna, for like you sent to just me and Dina, who was like, no to these books that were all the books that we read. You have to read these books. Phantasma was on there, and I was like, oh, okay, so it must be really, really good.
If we believe the sassy girl.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like one on Kindle, one on Audible, just kind of do my 3 books at a time thing again. I do want to start Guild. Method. Yeah.
I really like Guild. It's different. It's fantasy, but it's different so far, and it has like Greek mythology going for it, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, you like that.
So I was like, what's happening? So far I'm just like going like, but what does this mean? What's happening right now?
Okay. A lot of questions.
So many questions. I'm like, what does she have? What is he doing? I'm like, what's happening? Is he bad?
Like that.
Should I like him?
Should I like him? Is this a Talon situation?
Well, you know what's complicated is that he's Rasan's voice. So my heart and my head want to love him, but I'm like, I think he might be evil.
Don't be tricked by Rasan.
Don't be tricked by Rasan's voice. Okay, Danielle, what do we have going on in our next episodes coming up?
Ooh, okay, so we did our interview with Harper Hawthorne, the author of A Blood and Ether, the Harbinger series. And then that's going to come out. And then Onyx Storm. And then our J.E. Larson?
Yeah, J.E. I think, should we do J.E. Larson before Onyx Storm?
Yeah. J.E. Larson before Onyx Storm. And then, because we'll probably end up doing a 2-parter on Onyx Storm again, like this one.
Sure. So, I'm like, how big is it? I guess it's comparable to Iron Flame. Yeah, I'd say 2-part. Yeah.
Right. But J.E. Larson did a Trial of Fate and a Trial of the Heart. Super awesome talking to her. You guys are going to like listening to that episode.
5 stars there.
Oh, yeah. 5.
And then we'll do Onyx Storm after that 2-parter. So you guys have a lot to look forward to.
And a lot to read.
And a lot to read. So while we were recording, J.E. Larson actually messaged us, and she wants to send us a little thank you package.
What?
Like for being on our
how
podcast.
Sweet.
I was like, I love you even more now.
Yeah.
Wow, we're cool.
I know, I guess so.
Can I tell you, after our interview with her, I told my students, I was like, this author is so cool. She lives in Alaska and she has this mountain right behind her and she just goes hikes up. She's in the clouds. I was like, if you're not inspired by like something like that. And I was just trying to like get them all like psyched up for
you
reading and like
her
nature.
For your lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like reading in nature is beautiful, guys. Go read.
Get outside.
Right. Anyway. Okay, guys. So make sure you follow us everywhere you listen, rate and review us, please. Please follow us on Instagram at Sips with the Surreal, SURIEL. Click our link tree bio and follow us on Goodreads. You will also put our episodes each week on YouTube, so please subscribe and like. Same name, Sips with the Surreal. And follow Creative Little Pill for all your podcast, art, and digital art needs. All right, friends, keep reading to whatever end.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.